If you've used a dating app in the past, if you're currently using a dating app, or you've thought about using a dating app, stop looking for love. I know that sounds really harsh. I don't exactly mean that literally, but over the years, I've become far less fond of dating apps as time continues. And as dating apps actually alter more from hookup culture into actual relationship culture. Hinge, to my knowledge today, is essentially a dating app. Like, it's not predominantly used to hook up in the way that I would assume Tinder is still being used. The reason I say stop looking for love is this is something that I genuinely feel passionate about. It's something that I've had to teach myself over the years to really stop doing. I had to build a habit to spend the time to work on myself and to fill the holes or the voids that I feel in myself that we'll get into further in this video, instead of trying to fill those holes through a partner. We as human beings are so wired for love, right? Love is the thing we experience from the Creator, from God. It's what we experience from our family. It really is the first feeling we experience as we come out of the womb. Our mothers spent 9 months desperate to meet us. So seeing us for the first time, it's an abundance of love they feel. And so straight out of the womb, the first thing we're feeling is an abundant amount of love from those around us. Dude, it's so hot here. And so it's really natural for us to always seek being loved. And this is something that I've really learned the more that I've stepped into my faith, that we need to seek the love from the Father, to posture ourselves in a way that we are receiving His love, that we're receiving love from our family, so that we don't seek to fill a hole with the love we receive from our partners. That feeling that you've had, that I've had in the past, where we desperately want a relationship. We think that a relationship would genuinely change the reality of our lives. It would change our circumstance. Anyone who's experienced a relationship knows the joy you can get out of those initial moments, out of the honeymoon phase, out of overcoming a disagreement, out of sharing an experience with a partner that you feel is the most compatible with you. And so when we're not in relationships, maybe we just got out of a relationship, we're seeking a partner as a coping mechanism because we're not able to handle life by ourselves. We're not doing well on our own because now what feels like a hole has been created. And instead of healing and becoming full again, we immediately go seek that thing that we know and we've grown to love so much. If you've been single for a really long time and you feel like that's the thing missing in your life, I promise you it's not. I've grown to learn that it's not. The thing that's missing, that sense of something missing, is just a void that's inside of you. It is a lack of wholeness that I genuinely believe people need to fill elsewhere. Whether it's struggles going on with your business or identity or feeling fulfilled or content in your life, these are all emotions that would easily lead us to longing for a relationship. And so when I say stop looking for love, it's something that I live by. I'm not just telling you guys to do this. I am currently single. I've been in a lot of relationships and I'm very familiar with that sense of seeking a relationship, that sense that a relationship would make my life better. And as time went on, I've already seen the answer of that. The answer was that I was empty in some other department. It's that I wasn't whole in my life, and so I was seeking wholeness from a partner. If you get into a relationship looking to fill something, then you become dependent on the relationship because you are only whole with that person. Going back to what I said at the beginning, I think when you use dating apps and you're looking for love, you're always constantly analyzing partners. And again, this is something that can be natural at times to do. I fall victim to this quite often, where you're just constantly analyzing every single potential option for a relationship. If you're on a dating app and you're actually seeking a relationship, there's a higher likelihood that we're going to cut corners, because when we long for something, we essentially feel like at times we will do whatever it takes to get it. And so we will compromise on the things that we shouldn't compromise on, right? I think when you're getting in a relationship, you can essentially pick anyone. And obviously that's a generalization. We can't actually pick anyone because the other person has to reciprocate the feeling. But for the most part, you get to choose whether or not this is the person you are going to commit to. This is the person you're going to embark on a relationship with. If they're not the person, you get to say no. And so by choice, that's what I mean. I think we should all set our standards extremely high. We should look at what went wrong in our past. Who is our ideal partner? And am I constantly becoming the person that is deserving of them? And vice versa. Do I want my dream partner, my future spouse, my future wife, do I want her to be going out on Hinge dates every night, or going on runs, or journaling, or getting closer to the Lord? I think a lot of the times we are hypocritical in what we're seeking. You want this partner to be this, and this, and I think that's good. My whole point here was to not compromise, and in seeking, we tend to compromise. Don't forget that you also don't want your future spouse to be cutting those corners. And so in the same things that we uphold our imaginative future spouse to, we need to uphold ourselves. The second problem I see with dating apps is the same issue that we see with pornography. It's like you're exposing yourself to so many people at one time. Swiping on a dating app is not good for the psyche. And that's another thing you need to think about. If you're imagining your perfect partner, do you want someone that spent time working on herself and maybe came across a couple guys or a couple girls, maybe went on a couple dates, or do you want your future partner to have swiped through 10,000 people, to have seen 2,000 attractive potential partners and to seek them and talk to them? Like, that's not good for us. We already live in such a hyper-stimulated culture. We're being stimulated left and right. And so we're becoming numb to the things that actually matter. We're becoming numb to real, genuine human interaction. We're becoming numb to delayed gratification because we get everything now when we need it. Access is at the tip of our fingertips. Dopamine is everywhere. And so instead of us delaying gratification and actually seeking the things that take effort to get, to obtain, we choose the hamburger. We choose watching the movie on the couch. We choose going out late with friends instead of waking up early in the morning and getting something that's actually fulfilling. And so in the same way, these dating apps are teaching you to just get instant gratification. You're getting those little dopamine hits every time you find a potential partner, someone that's physically attractive, that checks the first box, that entry box into a relationship. I don't think love is blind. I do think, especially in the world of dating apps, that the first door you walk through is physicality, is looks. But is that healthy to just be swiping and seeking all day? And is that something that you want this ideal future spouse to be doing as well? If I were on a dating app today, and if I were on Hinge, and I was talking to 10, 15, 20 girls at once, and I was going on a date a week, I don't have as much confidence in my ability to show up in this relationship or show up in this date because I'm seeking love, because I'm not whole, because I'm allocating my time to dating, and I'm not here to condemn dating, but I'm allocating my time to swiping through girls, to consistently seeking a partner, and I'm not allocating time towards the things that are actually going to build my confidence, my fitness, my health, my intelligence, my ability to communicate, my emotional intelligence, my ability to have compassion, to show empathy, to be apologetic, to be self-aware, to have perspective. Like, these are all things that take time to build. You cannot build these things without being intentional. And if your intentionality is in seeking a partner and it's in dating, then you're not going to have as much confidence in yourself when you're on these dates. If you accidentally find the love of your life on a date, you're not going to be as confident in yourself because you've been prioritizing your time in a way that is far from ideal. When you can get to a point in your life where you say, you know what, maybe I would like a relationship right now, but I don't need one because I feel whole. I don't feel like I have a void that needs to be filled. When you run into somebody that is a good candidate, you are able to show up in a much different light because you're confident. You don't need the date to go well. You don't need this person to be what you're looking for. If they are that, great, you're prepared. Something that I love that people say is, and I might butcher this a little bit, is luck is where opportunity meets discipline, where opportunity meets essentially the work you've put in. And so you are going to have opportunities in life. Opportunities are going to find you. But whether or not you are going to get this sense of good luck is if you prepared yourself for when that opportunity comes. In the same sense of feeling like you have great luck. All these opportunities present themselves and I've done the work. And so opportunity plus work equals a positive outcome. In a relationship, it's the same way. If you do the work and you meet the right person, those two things will come together to create something beautiful. But if you haven't done the work and then you come across someone that is a potential match for you, is that ideal partner, are you really prepared for that good outcome? Or are you going to blow it and lose the thing that you've wanted most because you seeked it instead of spending the time to develop you? And so I say don't look for love boldly because I really do come to believe that looking for love is a negative. I don't think people should seek love. I don't think people should seek relationships. I think there's nothing wrong with wanting one. I want to be in a relationship, but I don't need a relationship. We need to be real with ourselves in seasons of like, are you even ready for a relationship? Would a relationship be a net positive thing in your life right now? And are you in a place where you can absolutely show up for that person if your ideal partner comes around? I was just having this conversation the other day. Like, I have this fear that I'm going to run into my future wife in a time when I don't feel like I necessarily want a woman in my life. I don't have the ability to financially provide for a woman. And I don't think that's everything. And again, if I come across my future wife, I will figure it out. The ideal future wife I build will not need that of me, will not require that of me, but I would much rather be able to financially provide for someone. I don't feel like I have the mental bandwidth while I'm trying to set my finances straight to water the flowers in a relationship, to be up late at night on maybe a FaceTime call, or make bad decisions because of the inclinations we have as human beings. And I don't mean that sexually. But that's naturally what happens in a relationship, and I'm aware of that. So in a season of my life where I'm really trying to dial in my schedule, I'm trying to build good habits, I'm trying to create financial freedom for myself enough to where I can entirely provide for someone, I secretly hope I don't come across someone right now. And so that's just my idea of sharing with you guys the thoughts that I have that display where I'm at and the truth behind believing that looking and seeking for love is a bad thing. If that's a season you're in right now, I at least encourage you to open your mind to this and to have a real honest conversation with yourself if your longing for a relationship is a band-aid for a lack of wholeness in your life.